And hello, all of my fellow nerds out there. This is Oracle Nerd Richie, and welcome back once again to Our Life Now and Forever, the Step 1 demo. So last time we started on our journey with Tamarack, Chew, Darren, and good old Baxter from. Oh, for those of you who don't remember, Baxter actually appeared in Forever and Always, but they were a lot older in that game. This in this game, they're much younger. This is the first time we ever actually meet them, apparently. Um, and that makes sense if this game was meant to be a prequel to the first game. Anyways, we're continuing the story from we left off because she was probably going to try to show us the special thing, and the special thing was was apparently, as our main character thinks it is, this forest trail. Tamarack sucked in a whistling breath and did not let it out. Her cheeks fully puffed out, and she stamped her feet as if she was revving up an engine. And then she was gone. Tamarack shot ahead, leaping from step to step until she was frolicking with the little valley below. Wait for us! Chu shouted after her, and then had the thought to move after her as well. He and Darren darted for the way down together, though Chu took a shortcut by jumping off the stairs to the halfway point. Watch your step! Baxter whispered lightly to you. That was not a warning, because he was worried. It was a big kid's test to see if it had shaken your nerves. He danced down the stairwell right after without a care in the world. You stayed right in the middle and took even steps, one by one. You reached the ground completely fine. Hey Darren, you can leave the bag near the stairs. We'll get up here. Chu took huge strides down the slight hill, holding out his arms for balance. He joined up with Tamarack, who'd crouched by the water. Oh, there are fish in there? Or frogs? Maybe. I think I saw something moving in there before, but it's a great place, huh? Tamarack's rosy face went blank for a blink. Was it a great place? All the anticipation that had built up, all the joy from the incredible realization of the answer burst forth in grand cheer. Yes, it's a special thing! Oh, got 2 pages of responses. I like it. Yeah, it's amazing. This place is beautiful and incredible. I cannot believe it. I never want to go home. How come this isn't your hideout, Chew? It's more secret and better. Not bad. There's some neat stuff out here. Why would any of something like this be creepy? Yeah, it's amazing. So amazing! You and Tamarack basked in... Oh, right clicked a mistake. You and Tamarack basked in the shared excitement. No wonder, but you and her could feel. You basked in shared excitement. No one but you and her could feel. I can't read today. It wasn't new to anyone else. It wasn't that important to other people. But the joy over it could be doubled because you had each other. Then she sprung onto her rain boot-clad feet again. There was more yet to see. Climbing over mossy stones and looking under them too, the group spread out to explore. The air cooled you through. You could feel its chill against the roof of your mouth and teeth with every breath, like the aftermath of eating a mint. It wasn't only the autumn season, and the wind rushing across the valley, though those two were parts of why. Being so close to the water added a third layer of unique type of cold you experienced at this special place. It really was a land set apart from everything else. While clamoring about, Tamarack imagined a fairy tale about a mysterious creature that lived under the bridge. She never set foot there until that day, but was certain she was an expert on its hidden history. Her stories were better than the movie. Eventually, Tamarack made a different kind of explanation to the crowd. I'm going to cross the bridge now. She had already begun itching that way. Yeah, check it out. I'll think about what to do while we were here. We could play a game or something. Chew, Baxter, and Darren stood as a unified front on that come up with a plan, despite Chew doing all the talking. Okay, I'll come back later. Can I come with you? Mm-hmm. Let's go see the bridge. Boys waved you off on your short trip. Tamarack skipped up the stairs and you climbed them too. At the top, Tamarack strolled along by your side. She was usually a speedy girl, but if it was to stay with you, Tamarack could take it easy sometimes. Tamarack glanced at the trees clinging with thick roots up to the hillside and carved blocks that created a path suspending you above the ground, completely enchanted. From those fantastic stories and the sparkle in her eyes, Tamarack might have believed there was real magic to be found here. You went to the exact opposite end, peered into the mountain path beyond, then looped around the way you'd come. Halfway on the second crossing, Tamarack pauses to glance over the valley. Look at them down there, so little. Tamarack was smiling softly over that. But then, with no warning, her lips stretched into something mischievous. Tamarack's gaze has gone far away. She suddenly gripped the strap across her shoulder. When the idea finished coming to life in her mind, Tamarack had got to action, starting by taking the bag off and dropping it to the bridge with a thud. Next, Tamarack crouched down to undo the front straps. What are you looking for? She giddily hee-heed. I have an idea. Tamarack rummaged around inside with both hands and her tongue sticking out. Hell, what? She yanked out a lumpy, bumpy something. You only got a glimpse of it before she was gone. Tamarack rushed to the railing and just about tackled the stone wall. She jutted her face out over it. She needed to lean into her tiptoes to get that far. The vantage point was used to great effect as Tamarack let out a shout that echoed through the entire valley. Boys! Intrigued by what was happening, you approached the railing and glanced below. There was a very confused boys' club gathered in a bunch, looking straight up at you and Tamarack. They had moved from one side of the stream to the other at some point. Tamarack thrust a closed fist out over the side of the bridge. Between your fingers was the bag of cashews from before. She shook it about. Tamarack had a challenge. If I throw these cashews from up here, do you think you could catch them? Every eye and mouth in the audience popped wide open in surprise. Then the crowd went wild. They reached their hands into the sky, shouting in unison. Yeah! It was like seeing the nest of baby birds when their mom dangled dinner overhead. Tamarack chuckled again. She pulled from the edge partway, settled on the balls of her feet. At a normal talking level, Tamarack spoke words for you. If they miss, the animals can eat it. It's just nuts. You can throw too, or you can go down if you want to catch. What? I've gotta throw. Me and you will be an unstoppable throwing force. Honestly, I kind of grew pretty close to Tamarack. Like she's very adorable. Oh, stupid. Trigger fingers. Ooh, this is the funnest part. Oh, this is so cute. Look at her. Tamarack pulled open the zip-sealed pouch of ammunition. She plopped it on the edge between you and her. You'd have plenty to work with. Who knew packing a fun-sized bag of cashews would come in handy for something like this? Tamarack, you guessed. She was prepared for everything. The leader of this new game selected one single cashew to top off the top. She stretched out over the drop again. the two fingers, Tamarack daintily dangled the first prize, paper airplanes and now cashews. Tamarack certainly liked throwing things at people. Ready? Other unanimous clamor rose from the boys' club. Ready? With a flick of a wrist and no final warning, the nuts sailed through the air. Players scrambled to be wherever the cashew was going to land. It went straight down, bounced against a stone and rolled away, never to be seen again. No one got close. The gang's desperate fever fizzled. Awkward glances were sent about the field. That was just a test one. Choose excuses amused the other kids, getting slight smiles such to spread, but there was a truth in it. Players had a much better idea of the landing zone. Maybe next time, or the time after, somebody will get something. Yep, here we go! Someone as enthusiastic as her wouldn't stick to that pace. It was only a starting shot, after all. She shoveled cashews into both her palms and shimmied her arms back and forth above their heads. The nuts jiggled from her hold without pause. At least until she had to reload. The game was on. You let loose. Deep breaths, deep breaths. No one's gonna take these out of context. You took a stream of cashews, slow but constant. That makes sense. The frenzy reached new heights as everyone went in dizzying circles, stumbling over uneven ground and leaping for golden-ish colored metals. Baxter took the simplest method to catching stuff. He used his hands to snatch at falling snacks. Chew and Darren bent their necks face towards the sky. They attempted to sink a nut directly into the open mouth. That's hilarious. You've been a way righter than you thought you'd when you'd picture them as chicks hopping for food. The waves of cashews, Tamarack, and you sent down were unforgiving. It more than kept the boys' club in their combined 30 toes. They'd need double the amount to even try keeping up. In the heater competition, you glimpsed of the coming of a big mistake. It happened faster than anyone could do anything to stop it. Chew and Darren slammed directly into each other. The impact brought both toppling over directly into Baxter. Keeping his eyes ahead didn't save him. Baxter went down with the rest of his club. The trio landed in a heap as helplessly as the cashews no one caught. Two boys rolled on their backs to the grass, holding their poor faces. The third was flat out on his stomach, blinking in surprise. A bunch of crash dummies. Oh, this music's really good. Are you guys alright? Tamarack cupped her hands together, stopping more cashews from falling. Yeah, are your heads okay? From youngest to oldest, the group started climbing to their feet again. They brushed off the leaves and grass, and a couple of cashew pieces sticking to their clothes. Baxter helpfully plucked debris off his buddy's backsides that they couldn't reach. Chew inhaled deeply, tilted far enough back to drop his hood onto his shoulders, and responded to the concern loud enough for all to hear. I'm good. The boys' club had a little group talk afterwards, but that part was too quiet for you to hear. It ended with Chew shooting a thumbs up, so things must have been A-okay. That was a relief. You didn't think you'd be even happy. You didn't think you'd ever been happier to have him thumbs up at you. And so the event resumed, more carefully this time. Baxter caught another one, then a good few more after that. His palms gradually filled with cashew chunks, which was not easy to pull off. But then the unbelievable happened. One of the nuts dropped directly into Darren's gaping mouth. Darren was so surprised something hit his tongue that he coughed and spat the cashew out. But didn't diminish the glory of his feat. In fact, it only proved for sure that he'd done it. You can make that out even from the top of the bridge. All eyes were on Darren again, though for an entirely different reason than a minute ago. Meanwhile, his gaze had suddenly gone up to you. The nut you caught was one of yours. You waved. He was welcome. Baxter and Chu crowded around the champ, slapping his shoulders and ruffling his hair. This was technically a competition against each other, but one of them was triumphant. It was a victory for the entire club. Darren grinned at the attention, breathing hard from the exertion. His cheeks and the spot where Chu's face had smacked into his chin were all red. Still, the bag wasn't empty. Tamarack didn't declare it was over yet. This would be the last hurrah. Oh, in the chaos of that, you and Tamarack knocked together, reaching for the bag at the same time. Distracted by anything below, you and Tamarack stuck your hands in the bag at the same time. I don't know. I kind of like these two options. They're both really equally adorable. You know what? This one. Your knuckles bumped together. Tamarack's left boomed, undaunted. Hey, I'm getting those cashews. That was fine with you. You backed your hand away slowly, not wanting to trigger Tamarack's competitive fierceness even more. The small crowd of impatient boys began to yell. Hey, what happened to the cashews? Are we still playing? Sorry! Tamarack moved away to stretch across the guardrail and shout into the valley. We were busy. Oh, it's so cute! It's so adorable! Like I know I liked my little adventures with Cove in Beginning and Always, but Now and Forever is starting to become the most adorable game of the series. I swear, I love this so much. Tamarack didn't explain any more than that. It was funnier that way. Soon the bag that had been so stuffed could hardly close was left barren. Only a few broken bits and salty dust remained in the folds of the plastic. Tamarack brushed her hands together and made up the call. That's all the cashews! That stamped out the excitement quicker than when the first nut hit the ground. Q bent forward like a sagging bag. His head hung low. His arms dangled down in front of him. It could have been more exaggerated show of disappointment. You can make it out clearly even from way up there. On the flip side, the mastermind of the event was lighter than air. It was great. Tamarack plopped both her elbows on the stone railing. She propped up her cheeks and her palms, and it made her white smile all squished. And it got her face messy with cashew crumbs. She didn't care about either. The boys' club is pretty funny. Remember when they all fell down? Omi and Oprah are gonna love hearing about this. Tamarack rested there, giggling and tapping the back of her heels together. That was until her attention was taken by one of the funny boys' club boys. Hey, meet us at the stairs. Chu stuck one arm towards the spot. He used his other hand to cup his mouth. We're gonna eat these other snacks. Coming! News of the new activity made Tamarack bounce in celebration. She was energized for the next bit of fun. Okay. Tamarack shoved the ransacked baggie into her top overall pocket, donned her bigger pack, and skipped across the bridge. She wouldn't litter, that was for sure. You returned to the world below the bridge with her. With treats at the ready, the entire group regathered on the steps nestled into the hillside of the valley. 3 kids settled down, the shortest one at the highest point, going up in size and down in level from there. Tamarack had come from the top, so she didn't go too far towards the ground. Chu took the lead for his club and sat in the steps directly under her. Darren was in the spot behind Chu. Baxter, however, only leaned his shoulder against the cobblestone wall. Oh, who do we... Who would choose, Darren, Tamarack, or Chew? Okay, okay, you know what? Exact same step as Tamarack. Tamarack excitedly squeezed next to you in the mossy slab. You sat together at school, you were together throwing nuts, and you sit together right there too. Your seat was a little damp and a whole lot hard, but it was great to finally not be on your feet. You walked through the whole town, explored the special place, and were standing during the entire cashews off the bridge game. Chew casually hung his legs over the side of the stairs. Darren, Darren pulled a knee up to his chest, while the other leg was resting atop the steps. Tamarack planted her feet onto Chew's spot. She bumped him playfully with her boots. I gotta say, Chew pointed a finger in the air, calling the Lays mean to this club, even though Tamarack and you still weren't members. You really had a good idea there, Tamarack. Smiling sweetly with her hands in her lap, Tamarack sincerely appreciated the praise. Thanks, Chew. However, Chew Lin might have initiated the discussion, but Tamarack brought it down to business. Who's the winner? We're all winners. He offered the idea optimistically, or maybe hopefully was a better word. In the end, Chew was the only one who ever managed to get anything. No. His hopes were flatly denied. Littering in the forest and the soft-hearted ideas of not choosing a single winner were two things Tamarack couldn't stand by. Somebody has to win, but what counts as winning? Oh, huh. That's a tough call. Baxter had the most, but Darren did something pretty crazy. That should count for more than one catch. It's your game, Tamarack. Make up a point system. She crossed her arms and squeezed her knees together, showing the serious effort she was putting into thinking. Tamarack sat like a round nut waiting to be cracked. And what broke through was a fresh, devious smile, even more twisted than when she had come up with the game. If you caught it with your mouth, that's more points than catching a lot with your whole hands. But it doesn't count if you spit it out. Darren's spine went rigidly straight for an instant before scrunching down more than ever. He croaked defeatedly. This had gotten him more ruffled than when he hacked up a cashew. Baxter wins. Darren's fuzzy black gloves were balled into harmless-looking fists. He must have wanted to argue that his efforts should count for something. But he was unable to put those words together right to a girl's face. That had to be exactly why Tamarack made the rules unfair against him. Baxter chuckled under his breath. Clever. So the victor was crowned. He gave his short acceptance. Congrats to Baxter. Though Baxter acted as if he didn't care a tiny cashew crumb if he won or lost based on Tamarack's made-up rules that she had decided on after the game was already over. Darren continued to pout Darren continued to pout in his nook the whole while. Thankfully for him, he had a pal who never let things stay sad for long. At least we can all agree who got last. Me. Chu shifted from angling for a no-win situation to confidently accepting his status as the bottom rung. That plan succeeded where his nut-catching strategies failed. It made Darren faintly smile. Chu gave a wink, not stopping there. The other guys are taller. That gave you the edge. Don't forget. There was laughter and lighthearted smiles up and down and along the steps. It was just one of those days where everything was funnier than it was frustrating, no matter what. Okay, Snack King, enjoy your spoils. Snack King gets to pick first. There were many unknown rules and regulations for the status of Snack King. You were learning a lot. Chu loudly stretched open the handle of the bag, holding delicates out for Darren. He took his beef jerky. That was the last thing he needed to make him fully content again. Pass me the gummies. Baxter got his treat as requested. Then Chew moved on to you. Richie, you found your sour gummies in the bag. Why would... Actually, wait, we can probably choose which one we have, too. Um... Like as much as I like sour gummies, I also really love spicy chips. I don't know. I kind of like both of them. But, you found your sour gummies in the bag. Choose secured his chips last before stuffing the corner store bag into the crevice in the step. Having your own special treat that you bought with your very own money was exciting. You couldn't even guess how long ago you got it from the store, and were more than ready to dig in. Tossed a few pieces in your mouth and immediately felt rewarded for your choices. It was great. The group who planned the food detour easily settled into a snack-sharing semicircle. Baxter had bent over the stairs to be closer to the one sitting down. No boy was empty-handed, and none of them were limited to just the treat they chose. Hugh and Darren's gloves got completely coated in powdery snack bits in record time. It was then that Tamarack rejoined the conversation. She'd been quietly sifting through her fully stocked messenger bag while Chew had been dividing up treats. Here's what I got. And what she got was a yellow rectangle the size of a large chocolate bar, though that wasn't chocolate. The brightly colored block made Chew giggle. We're lucky you didn't chuck that big thing at us. Are you sure? It would have been easy to catch. I'm sure. I'm alright with not catching anything. Darren couldn't help but interrupting back and forth with dubious curiosity. What is it? Fake cookies. Oh, I honestly never really liked fake cookies too much, but I'm not saying they're bad or anything. I've had them before. Not something you were very familiar with. Yeah, that sounds a bit like me. Tamarack tore open the wrapper with gusto, and she slid the light tan couch cushion looking cookie. It was flat on the top and bottom with dark brown filling in the center. You didn't know other kids liked them. Those are pretty boring cookies. Not fig. You puckered your face up in disgust. Not fig cookies. Unless I'm thinking about some other kind of fig. I don't know. Oh, it sounded nasty to me. Let me try it. I wouldn't have guessed you'd like those. They're kind of plain. I want some. They're so good. Here, take a piece. Tamarack pinched the top and press it down. The cookie was the soft kind, more like the snack cake. It smooshed and bent until the chunk separated without a snap. Then she placed it in your waiting palm. Chew looked up and down the latest exchange of goods. He scratched his cheek. Could I try it too? Sure. Thank you. Tamarack passed a small section of the spongy cookie down to Chew. I'd try a fig cookie as well. Another simple request came in before she finished pulling fingers away from Chew. Tamarack took a second to yank off the corner and stuff it into her mouth before nodding. She whittled the cookie away even more to share with Baxter. He tossed it in his mouth just like that. Only a 1-inch square was left of the bar then. Her snack got finished faster than any other. You take it. She hadn't said his name, but her eyes were set directly on Darren, who 2 steps slower. He didn't react. Apparently, if you didn't address something, it wasn't there. Or he might have not even realized she was talking to him. Darren had changed his sitting position to take on the appearance of a folded chair. Not only were both his legs pulled up, but his arms were over his knees, and his face was lowered down into them. Hugh gave the back of Darren's blonde head a nudge. Anybody home? Without a word, Darren tilted his neck like he had during the game. Tamarack already leaning over and dangling the last bit of cookie above his face. He, he carefully reached out and plucked the gift from Tamarack's hold as if he was picking a real fig off a branch. It made sense in a way. Tamarack's name was a type of tree. Thanks. Darren curled his fingers closed around the new cookie. He kept staring upwards at Tamarack. That had to be a record for the longest time he'd held eye contact with her. You could have a piece of jerky. Anybody can. Thank you, but I don't want that. Oh. Before you could get it real awkward, Tamarack said it sparked a different idea. It worked out for Darren, though she hadn't done it to smooth the over her bluntness. Tamarack was like that. She had a lot of energy. I have something else too. The something else too was the bare baggie of cashews just taken from her overalls. Seeing her bring it out now was more confusing than when she first pulled it from her bag on the bridge. Tamarack snickered at the loss she left the group at and her own secret scheming. She poured the scraps into her hand and returned the now completely empty bag into the pocket where it came from. Tamarack shot one of the tiny pieces away at Chew. Chew's defensive instincts kicked in, and he snatched it before it could hit his face. What was that about? You got one, a cashew that I threw. Chew gave a lopsided smile and ate the little piece. Guess I did. Thanks. Tamarack was sweeter than any cookie. I agree. So would anyone like to try my snacks? You enjoy your whole snack yourself. You're already full. Would anyone want to try my snack? A chorus of agreements followed. The group was more happy to provide. Your choice of treat made the rounds along the stairs. They filled their hands and stomachs with it. The conversation took a turn when Chew chirped up with a question. So, what do you think? Of what? What else? He gave Tamarack a slick smile. Her attention was what he'd been trying to grab. The club. Oh! She didn't say anything else. That was okay. Chew continued on himself. You've gotten to see what it's like, and it's pretty great, huh? You can still join if you wanna. All right. I'm in. Yes. Chew gave the arrow 1-2 punch. He managed a real success that day. He was so proud to welcome you into his gang that neither of the existing members did anything that might have dampened their leader's mood. Or it was possible that it wasn't about Chew, not just about him anyway. Maybe the two boys were okay with having you around after all. No matter the reason, you'd been accepted as an official member of the boys' club. Only one person was left out of that loop. Tamarack thought longer about the question than she had the first time. Chew invited her. She gave her real consideration, but the answer wasn't different. No thanks. At least mostly. There had been development over the afternoon you experienced. Tamarack was quick to add it in. I still like you, Chew. I like playing with Baxter and Darren. Really? Thanks. You do? Chew's left and right hand boys were amazed. Baxter is amused in amused disbelief. Darren he didn't have a single clue what to do. It was kind of the same for you. You like Baxter more. I keep right clicking. It was kind of the same for you. You like Darren now. It was a surprise for her. That was a surprise for her. As for you, you felt the same about those boys. I mean, I guess if I had to choose one or the other, I guess I'd say I like Baxter more. Like, he's really cool, honestly. Chew became a calming force on the low crowd, a steady rock against the winds of emotion, which was not usual for him. You know, that's cool. I think it makes sense for you. It's it's a Tamarack way. That was the end of that for the day, and maybe forever. Chew managed to be at peace, not having everybody he knew in his official club. So you were partially a club, and and completely a group of kids hanging out at the bridge together. Chew took a turn trying to toss cheesy chips into Tamarack's mouth. She squealed every time she missed and whooped every time she didn't. Baxter rested along the wall, watching the game with semi-interest. He batted away shots that misfired and bounced off Tamarack. Jared nibbled the last of Baxter's sour gummies. He was keeping score while Chew and Tamarack kept their heads fully in the game. It was kind of like a picnic, except there was no blanket or basket. It was a lot colder than what you usually imagine for a picnic. Thanks for coming up with such a fun thing, Tamarack. You know what? Best Saturday ever. Right? I told you. Nuh-uh. Your plan was going riding. Bikes, bikes, bikes. That's all you told us about. Well, at first, yeah, but it was my idea to do both things. Both includes coming here. It counts. No. Tamarack cheered. There'd be no compromising on that. Fine. Those two definitely did disagree on a lot of things, but it was equally certain that they were friends in their own silly way. And they were your friends too. That day across the town into the treasure chest store, up a mountain and across the bridge, could only be described as an adventure. And you are gonna remember it for a long time. Aww. Oh, that's so cute! That was so adorable. I really like that. I really like that a lot. But anyways, I think this is actually a good time for us to stop here for now. So in the next episode, we'll be going over the wheels moment. I'm gonna try to put the whole moment in one episode if I can. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like, comment what you think, share this video with your friends, and be sure to subscribe, click the bell so you don't miss a single notification. I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye.
You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason.